Your average bench height or seat height is between 16 and 18 or 16 and 19 inches. The legs I got at 16 inches with the 1.5 inch top will put me, you know, in the right area. Top of the legs I have at about 8.5. It's splayed out to 11. So out of an 8-foot board of 2x12 pine or whatever you choose to make it out of, you can get a whole bench for next to nothing. So all I have here is just a decent curve. Play with that. Make a template. Like I said in the last video, the most important thing is a good template. Even if you're not going to repeat it, it's a lot easier to shape 1/2 inch or 1/8 inch material than it is to shape 2 inch material. I don't know what's going on outside. So invest in your time in making a template. It makes the rest of the project a lot easier. Templates made. Mount the templates to some 2x12. Cut it out roughly on the bandsaw. I use some screws here. Leaves very little holes in the template. You can, in the actual piece. You can always put just a hair of putty in that or weight. Once it gets sanded, it's to the inside, so you're really not going to. So screw those on, run it through the flush trim bit. Very little sanding, and you got a good match. So again, take time, make a template, and then you're good. So that's all we've done. Pretty basic. Today we're going to cut the tops. I have two different styles. I have a solid top and then the top that angles in. Solid top is pretty self-explanatory. It's just flat, and then I chamfer the edges at about a 15 degree, depending on what floats my chicken at the time. Today we're going to do angled tops to finish up this bench. So I'm going to get set up. I'll be back. Okay, so here what I got is I got my table saw set up, 5 degree tilt. I've got the fence set up to come in 1 inch from the side. I like to look at the boards and see that this edge isn't as good as the rest. So I know I'm going to cut this edge off. You can't see that, but right in here. So I have the blade all the way up, which is going to leave sometimes a little knot here where I'll set the bandsaw up and finish the cut at the 5 degree. Now 5 degree doesn't sound like a whole lot of a dip, but it actually makes a big difference when you sit. Gives your butt somewhere to go. So now we'll go get the bandsaw set up and finish this cut out, which will give it a smoother feel, less sanded. Alright, so I have the table tilted to 5 degree, roughly. I have the fence set pretty much. I didn't measure, I just kind of eyeballed to see what's happening here. Try to line the blade up with that. Gonna have to sand it anyway, but it's gonna be a lot smoother, or a lot less to sand or plane out. So let's get these cut. So got those cut. Now I have the blade tilted 10 degrees. Yeah, 10 degrees to run the chamfer on the bottom edges. You can get confused and cut the wrong. It's kind of hard, but it can happen. So just make sure you're sitting flat and not tilted. I have my fence set up with a removable block. So it just cuts off here and we leave the edge. I do the end grain first in case I get a chip out, because I'm going to cut the others in. Kind of like that. So I don't know if you can. So that's flat. So 10 degree, 5 degree. So I'm going to do that on the back side. And first I'll do the same to the other board since I have it set up. Then readjust and do the back side. Not going to do the front side. We want to leave that an inch. And they'll be butted up against each other with a small gap. So I'm going to get that ripped out and or cut out and be back. Right, so I won't put you through the torture of sanding. Alright, so I got my pocket hole jig set up for 1.5 inches. I'm going to line up the holes so it doesn't go through the curve. Man, I can't tell whether you can see that or not. Anyway, 2 holes. 2 holes. Take my ears out so I can hear. Alright, so we got our dowels made. We got our pieces laid out. Got our Type Bond 3 Ultimate wood glue because it's waterproof and these are designed for outdoors. So waterproof, water resistant, waterproof it says. Let's get lined up with the marks. Good and straight. I'm trying to put enough on there where I get just a hair squeeze out, but not too much. So I don't have to do a bunch of scraping. Now if you'll notice, I'm only doing 1 on each side right now. That way, when I stand it up, if it needs a little tweaking, like that one, I am able to do so, and then I can run the other. Alright, good. Now we're going to get our top. Because they're all a little different, I didn't make marks on these. Got a gap that is nice and even on the top. A little better shot. Alright, so back inside, an 8-foot 2x12 and an hour. You can build a bench. Very simple. If you like these videos, subscribe, share, comment. I don't get much participation, so please participate. And have a good day.